Hey folks, we're back in the lab again. Here you go. We've got the fluke back out, and here we go. This is, if you can see it, we can kind of get it in there. The little square one is a tiny flake of graphene-coated copper. It's kind of wacky, but we figured out a way to put graphene on copper and aluminum foil. This one here is, you can't see it because the light is reflecting it wrong, but this is a gold flake. It's actually a gold wafer on a plastic. And when you go over here, they're very small. So don't, mind you, this is not ohms per centimeter or anything like that. I mean, but if you look at this is the graphene coated copper wafer. That's the ohms on it for such a tiny little thing. And if you do the same relative thing to the gold, you get pretty close results. I mean, mind you, this is not super scientific because I don't have a test rig, but like you got 1.1 here coming out of the gold, and then here you got the graphene and 0.4. To give you an idea, if you were to do the same thing to aluminum foil, you get 0.2. So, kind of neat. Look at all the water bottles and everything. That's kind of interesting because when you have something like that, the copper would conduct better. If we were going digging down into the copper for that little square, it would do actually better than the aluminum, obviously. And the gold here is a pretty good par. But it's a very, very wafer thin, very, very small coating. So you're not going to get the most amazing conductivity values out of it, just because or you're not going to get the lowest resistance out of it because it's so thin. But still, a good thought process, to base it is that one is a gold wafer and one is just copper coated with graphene. But we're coming up with a little thing and a process, and there'll be some news up here on the copper coatings, the graphene coatings in the near future. But let's just say that this one right here is only copper and graphene. No binders, no nothing. We figured out a way to get that to stick in a way. So, and not a CVD process before any of you guys say, oh yeah, you could do CVD. No. That's not what we're doing here. We're using, these famous little bottles, or the big bottle, or the little tiny ones, and using that to get these results. And, and here's a conductive plastic. It conducts heat very, very, very well. More than electricity. Get like 80 ohms on a centimeter of this plastic, and it's very brittle because the content is very, very high. You can actually look. Let's see if I can break some. It's not the strongest thing in the world. See, it just broke. It's stronger than like charcoal or something silly like that. But that is actually ABS with a very, very high concentrate. But it's not made it's not directional. In other words, the flakes are not oriented correctly. We just threw it in there and mixed it around and saw what we could do. More than anything, we saw some heat conducting properties that were pretty neat. This ABS here, though it's kind of crunchy because of the high graphene volume, you can actually put it. Let me turn the fluke off. You can actually put it in heat of up well over 400 Celsius. And if you know anything about ABS, you would say, no, you're a liar, Nick. There's no way, because ABS melts at 105 Celsius, right around there. But yeah, this was well into the 400s. So we were really impressed by heat repulsion. It's not necessarily repulsion. What it is it's just like you would have a Faraday cage around something to keep electricity to go from going through it. This does the same thing with the heat. The heat goes around the plastic and out the top, out where to the atmosphere very, very quickly. We're trying to figure it all out. Takes a little time, or maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Could be. Who knows? I always put those qualifiers in there because that's always fun. Let you guys think about it too. I'll be doing some more experiments and stuff like that in the near future. Finally getting the groove back into coming back in the office or the lab, if you will, and doing stuff. So, ta-da! I just worked so hard getting this graphene produced that now the process is kind of getting ironed out and things are coming. So, now I can do more fun stuff. Have a good day, everyone.